Okay, Simon, Reish, Vav, and then we're finishing being Shmuel Kroiva, Shmuel Rechaika, right? Which Shmuel Kroiva means if the relative hears about the death within 30 days, and Shmuel Rechaika is after 30 days. So we're up to Siv Zayin. So Shemei Shmuel Rechaika b'Shabbos, Iberegel. Did we do that yesterday? No, I don't think so. Okay, anyway, Shemei Shmuel Rechaika b'Shabbos, Iberegel. So if you heard a Shmuel Rechaika on Shabbos or Yom Tov, ain't noig avelis, there's no avelis. Vafilu, the Dvarim Shabbatzina mutter. And not only is there no avelis, but it's not even avelis Shabbatzina. So it means learning is okay, etc. Well, but the Shabbos regular noig sha'afas v'daya. So it's a Shabbos and what's a Yom Tov, so they sit for an hour, and that's enough. Let's say somebody heard after Yom Tov that he had a mace that was nifter before Yom Tov. So like we said yesterday, if you sit Shiva even for a few minutes before Yom Tov, so the Yom Tov knocks out the Avelis. But here, so there were relatives that the Avelis was knocked out because they heard about it before Yom Tov. But this guy didn't find out about it till after Yom Tov started, right? So the lois and shenogo Avelis koydem a regal. So for them, the regal comes and knocks it out. Since he was not knowing Avelis before Yom Tov, anybody who hears, even on Yom Dalit, meaning even it's 30 days from the Kfura, Havi Etzli Shmuel Kroiva, that's considered a Shmuel Kroiva, Tzarech Linak Shiva Ushleishim, and then he has to be knowing Shiva and Shleishim. So he really loses out a lot by them not telling him about this Petira before Yom Tov. That makes it mamish, makes a heavy loss for him. No pun intended. Test. Misha Meis Lebeis Lidodele. Ain't lagadly. Let's say somebody who has a relative that died, but he didn't know about it. You shouldn't tell him. And on somebody who does tell him, somebody who says bad things is a fool. And you're even allowed to invite this guy to any chasana, simcha, because calls not you any day, areu kishar koladim. As long as he doesn't know about the death, he's like anybody else. So if a husband finds out that his wife's relative died, he's allowed to be mashamash with her since she doesn't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work so well for shalom bias purposes.
Didn't we have this before where we said you're not supposed to? If you know you're not supposed to. I remember hearing something like that.
What do you mean? If you know you're not supposed to?
You know that I think your wife is supposed to be sitting shiva. Like you're not supposed to be shiva. It's not. But remember, I thought we learned that.
What do you mean you're not supposed to what?
You're not supposed to sit there and say, okay, let me, and then I'll tell her afterwards.
No, we said you can.
Now we're saying that. I thought we learned before that you're not supposed to do that.
No, we learned that you should let him, for sure, if the person hasn't davened yet, you tell him to daven, right? We had that. We also said this thing about being able to be. I had this question last week, but the problem.
I think Paris is right. We said something about that. You shouldn't be with your wife if you know she has to, and not tell her.
No, we said you can. That's from what I remember.
I thought we said we shouldn't.
You can't if she knows about it. About it.
No, but if you know and she doesn't know, you shouldn't do. I don't know the right terminologies.
No, it says it. Here he says you can.
Okay, I just remember. Wherever parents was, I was there too that day.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. We'll look it up. Look it up, but I think we said that they can. I had it last week, but the wife knew about it, and because of all the stress, she wasn't together with her husband for a long time. So they wanted episode heta, but there's no heta. Once she knows about it, there's no heta. Anyways, okay. Obviously, how do you implement this? And how does anybody ever find out that there's a patira? Right? If you're a fool for telling somebody, so then. I mean, obviously, there's you have to weigh all the factors here. I mean, you don't tell somebody about a parent's levaya because you don't want to look like a fool, right? Yeah. Anyways, Yud, but if somebody asks you about a relative and asks, are they alive? You can't lie and say they're alive. You say it in a way that can be, what's the word? It can be interpreted two ways. Be a and then they'll figure out. That's the Gemara Psachim, where I forgot who asked. Somebody asked, "Is he alive?" And he came and said, "This person's alive," because he didn't want to say. And he turned around the shirt so that the tear would be in the back, so that nobody would realize that he tore kriya, so people wouldn't find out. Yud Aleph, Lebanim Scharim Noig and Leidia Kishemesa Avayim Kadesh Yomru Kadesh. The minig is at least to boys, you tell them when their parents died so that they could say Kaddish. Right? It's weird. It's mashma from the Kitzur that like otherwise just don't tell people. Just don't tell them. I mean, obviously it doesn't work nowadays also because of communication. Right? There was one of the Gedolim who did not tell a kid, didn't tell one of the Bachrim. He said, don't tell the Bachar that his father died. A message came. I don't remember who this Meister was with. Was it about to Ruderman? And then he told him not to say it. That's who it was with. I have with us a Chashuv guest, Rav Yankelevich. We went to Lakewood together. So he said that it was the Alta for Slavatsky, which was Ruderman, who was learning Stark, and who was Nifter? His father? Who was his father was Nifter? Ruderman's father was Nifter. They sent a message to the yeshiva, and the Alta said, no, don't tell him anything. And said he shouldn't stop learning. Or after 30 days, they told him he sat shiva probably for an hour or whatever it was, and then that was it. You got to have real places for that. Fine. Okay, next simon. Simon Reish Zion, Dine Nicham Avelim. These are halachas that people have to know. Uboy Zion Sifim. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not aware of this. These halachas. So mitzvah gedoyla lenachem avelim. It is a big mitzvah menachem avelim. Watzinu HaKadosh Baruch Hu to nichem avelim. We find with a bunch of them that he was menachem avelim to siva yi after he might have ram, but yibarak halakim asitzim benoy. Hu gemilas chesed im achaim brim amesim. It's doing chesed with the nifter and with the people that are alive. Right? Because it's a schus for the nifter that people come, and obviously for the people that are alive, they get a nechama. The oval has to talk first. So meaning, so you have to wait for the oval to say first. When you see and you sense from the oval that he's pretty much telling you to get out, then you have to get out. You can't sit there. Phase. An aval does not have to stand up, even for a nasi. And it's derech eretz that if somebody wants to stand up, somebody be mechabed and stand, Shave. Says to the friend, sit down. But you don't say that to sounds like sit in your avelis. Sit in your avelis. Fine. Gimel lo yomer adam lo nefrati kifi masei arayim. I don't say, because these are going through the different phrases that people say. Meaning the oval shouldn't say that, oh, I deserve bigger punishments going according to my meisim, because you shouldn't open your mouth to the Satan, right? Because you don't want to start up. That just shows you the power of words. Dalit lo yomer adam lo aval malacha lasis efshel l'shanis mashasa kodesh baruch hu. That's also a classic that people say. What are you going to do? Can't change Hashem's ways. Kizel kein giduf, because that's being megadef. That's like what do you call it? Blasphemy. The mashma ha'im haya efshel l'shanis ha'im mishana. Meaning, because it's mashma that if you would be able to change Hashem's ways, you would change Hashem's ways, right? Which obviously can't be. You have to be makabel, whatever the Rebbe Shalom says, ba'ahava, with love. Hey, Avelim, Yeshlam, the Sava, Malcolm, Shiyot, and Ishmael, Shalames. Avelim was supposed to sit Shiva where the Patira happened. Kiba Oisef, Malcolm, Nefesh, Ames, Miss Avelis, because that's where the Nefesh is Misav. Hasham Tzrichen Litin, La Tanchum, and that's where you have to give the Neshama the Tanchum. Now, it doesn't mean if it happens in the hospital, so you don't sit Shiva in the hospital. The mitzvah l'spal sham basar shachris v'arvis, and the mitzvah is to daven. There's a mitzvah to have a minyan there. She'einam based to aval. I'm sorry. Apa'ayin la'el simin chaf sivav. She'einam based to aval l'kenu v'klei v'seinu barchenu v'bracha. Meaning you don't say. You don't do bichas kainim. Afilu ein sham aval, even if there's no aval there. Because that has nachas ruach neshama. V'im yesh aval mitzaref leminyan. And if there's an aval, he is mitzaref leminyan. V'vi l'sham sefer Torah mikodim. You bring the sefer Torah there first. V'yachinu le'makom karaya atzman shispal l'sham, and you make it a nice place, like a little aron. Same yesh b'shnei batim mesim. If there's two houses mesim, be'echad yesh sham aval, be'echad ein sham aval. One has an aval, one doesn't. And you don't have enough people that you have 10 and 10. So then you daven in the house that does not have an oval. Right? It's just very fascinating psak. Meaning you go to the house that doesn't have an oval. Why? Because at least there'll be a nechama for the mace. Meaning the house that has the oval, so there'll be a nechama for the mace because people are coming there. But there's no oval there, so then there should, a minyan should be had. It happened by us.
The oval davens there. I mean, the oval leaves.
There is no oval. There is no oval.
But the other house has the oval.
Oh, I don't know what he does, Taka. I don't know. I didn't think about that. And what does the oval do? Does we see this? You think? I don't know. I got to look into that. I have to check into that. Very good. We had that by Bubby. I mean, they were Avelim. Jews were Avelim. It just weren't any male Avelim. Yeah. Noing and Lemer based on Niftar. Lachar Tfila Shachar Similcha. Es Hamizma Lam Natzeach. Shimu Zois Kol Ha'amim. Right. Umatayv Lilmoid. Sham Mishnayis Latikan and Neshama. And he's supposed to learn Mishnayis Latikan and Neshama because Mishnah is Oisias Neshama. So that's but the Aval can't learn the Mishnayos. Somebody else has to learn the Mishnayos on behalf of the Aval. Right? There's a Gevalig Tosis Yomtiv that talks about the Indian of learning Mishnayos because Mishnayos is the first Torah Shabbal Peh. And those that denied, the Apikosim denied Tchias HaMesim and Torah Shabbal Peh. So we learn Torah Shabbal Peh to show that we believe that there will be Tchias HaMesim. Anyways, that's it, right? Till Sifei? I think, yeah.
Yeah, including Sifei.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Okay. Everybody should have a fine night.
Thank you.
That goes up.